You heard Mr. Igwe Achese here saying that, listen, we want to see the list that government says they paid, because if you say you paid, we should also know. And because they think that some things are not just added up. From your perspective, do you think they're justified with that?
First, let me remind us that NUPENG and Pengasen are organizations that have very strong pedigrees, progressive pedigrees in Nigeria. They were in the front line with us in the fight for the struggle for democracy. And by the time we got democracy, of course, names like Franco Kori had become established household names. And therefore, when a progressive organization like NUPENG decides to then embark on an issue that is totally antithetical to the struggle that it stood for, it becomes a problem for the Nigerian people, and particularly those of us who were also in the front lines with them. And I think that this particular struggle, this particular strike that they have declared, that they desire now to embark upon, is merely about settling the grievances between friends. Friends, I say, because employers, their employers, who they are fighting for, their bosses, as you put it, who they are fighting for, actually friends of the people in government, is the same clique. And I am sure that Mr. Igwe and our comrades in NUPENG are aware that this disagreement is not fundamental. It's about sharing of money. And of course, if there are contracts that have been properly executed, one begins to wonder why NUPENG is now being invited to settle a matter that is purely contractual. If the employers of NUPENG members are aware that they know, and they know that their claims are genuine, their claims have no problems, are not shrouded in mystery, are not shrouded in underhanded deals, why wouldn't they simply approach the court? It's a matter of contract. They entered into a contract with any governmental agency, in this case maybe PPRA. They entered into a contract, that contractor has not paid them. I mean, their employers have not paid them. They know what to do. They know how to gain the claim. It's not about punishing the majority of Nigerians. It's not about punishing us, particularly those of us who are resident in Abuja, as they are doing now. And I think that this kind of struggle that they've decided to lend themselves to, which amounts to blackmailing the government, which amounts to blackmailing the Nigerian people, instigating the Nigerian people to fight a fight that they know is not genuine. I'm saying this because the probe have clearly, in the National Assembly, have clearly revealed to Nigerians that even those claims that they say are well established, if you scratch deeper than what even the National Assembly has done, the House of Representatives, I think that there are issues, there are more fundamental issues than may be unnetted. And this is why Nigerians are worried that NUPENG, that has earned their notches as far as the democratic struggle is concerned, is not asking their employers to go to court to get their money. It's all about money, and they know what to do in a purely contractual matter like this. Why are they not doing that? That is the question.
Says here,
and his comrades, we need to tell the Nigerian people why they do not want the court processes, which is an institution of democracy. We should be permitted to run its course, to allow the struggle of the Nigerian people to have a democracy where the rule of law will reign supreme. Why are they not interested in that? I sympathize with them. That 15,000 of them, as he says, are employed by these their bosses, but it doesn't matter. It's of no moment that you are employed by somebody who has entered into a contract with a third party. Does not mean that you are invited to carry machetes, to carry whatever, assuming there are farm hands, for instance. Somebody who owns a farm employs people, and then he invites people because the person he enters into a contract with has not lived up to his obligations. Does he invite the farm hands, the laborers on the farm, to begin to blackmail the contractor and the people who of course, maybe if it is tomatoes, for instance, the market man, who patronizes these tomatoes, to invite them, to blackmail them into living? I do not think that is the right way to go. And like I said, it's quite disconcerting that NUPENG is allowing itself to be part of this shenanigan.
Let me get him to respond to that now. Mr. Achese, you heard his response, saying that, of course, apparently upset about the entire matter and somewhat disappointed, if you will.
Yeah, no, I'm not disappointed in I'm not disappointed in his reactions. Of course, I'm happy you also mentioned clearly here that NUPENG has been in the forefront of the struggle for democracy in this country, and that we will not rubbish by the grace of God. But the truth remains that nobody is looking beyond what is happening today. That government insistence in talking about what we are looking at is beyond issue of just paying the subsidy. That's why if you look at the MOU we signed as well, we talked about the rehabilitations of the refineries and why government must continue to pay subsidy. And if government has failed to rehabilitate the refineries, then why would they stop?
Mr. Achese, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it's less than a month.
In fact, 2 weeks.
Have you given the government enough time to be able to implement the MOU that you have signed?
Let me recall. This is just the last MOU we signed.
It is the last MOU.
Listen,
it's like every MOU is a fresh one. Or
no
you don't
fresh.
agree?
There is no fresh issues. There is no fresh issues in this MOU you've
It's
just
to
seen.
say I'm giving you another chance.
We have this issue
MOU.
you're saying is beyond 3 years. It's more than 3 years. Most of the issues.
More than 3 years.
Yes, more than 3 years.
Yes.
To going to the courts?
We are not adverse to that.
So why didn't you test that in the law court? We also have the industrial court. Most Nigerians suffer because some are already saying, well, you're just trying to plunge this nation into some kind of chaos.
No. If Nigerians are saying that, then they are not looking beyond today. The future is greater than today. And if as a nation that is blessed as the 6th largest hydrocarbon producer is still importing petroleum products, then there is something wrong. If as a nation that is also blessed with all God-given mineral resources, we will be thinking of going to Senegal that has just discovered oil to import petroleum product, going to Ivory Coast to import petroleum product, then there is something wrong. Now, on the issue that he talked about, that why will NUPENG involve herself in these issues, why not allow these individuals to go and fight for themselves?
He calls them friends.
We are not, we don't want to know whether they are friends.
He said he knows that they are friends.
He claimed he knows now that they are friends. But we don't know whether they are friends. Our own concern here is not how you get involved, how you become friends, whatever means you're collecting money from government and how you recycle the money, we don't want to know. Our own functions and our responsibility as a union is to protect our members' job. And which government owes as a responsibility as well to Nigeria.
Which would also mean that if we have to protect our, sorry a moment, Chamberlain, if we have to protect the jobs of 15,000 people at the expense of all Nigerians, then so be it. Is that how it is?
It goes beyond that. It goes beyond that. Because definitely, today, NUPENG is suffering. Members of NUPENG are suffering. Nigerians are complaining. Tomorrow, it will come back again to this other sector.
All right.
But the truth, today, we're having the PHCN issue. And PHCN is also threatening to go on strike.